Hello everybody and welcome to a series of Let's Learn Aurora 4X, the grand space sim that has minimal graphics and is really notoriously difficult in the same essence as Dwarf Fortress and that sort of stuff, except there's nothing to really see, so it makes it even harder. Now, the basis of this game is that on Earth we've found new elements that we've called trans-Newtonian elements, because they do not follow Newton's laws of physics. And that basically kicks off the space age. We're off exploring the galaxy, mining minerals, and doing all sorts of crap. This is going to be the Let's Learn series of that. I'm going to base it thematic, as it's been in the past, so this is going to be the setup in the game episode. There'll be a sort of just getting started 1 or 2 episodes, and then we'll go into themes of, hey, this is how minerals work, hey, this is how factories work, etc, etc. But for the minute, we are going to start a game. And game name, I'm going to call this Let's Play. Starting year, I'm going to go through all these, so bear with me. Starting year is purely cosmetic. I like to say it's 2000, because I then have a good idea of how long it's been. If I say it's 2025, I forget it starts in 2025, but, you know, 2000 is just easy to remember. Maximum number of systems, all very self-explanatory. Race generation chance is essentially when you go to a new star system, the chance that a race of aliens will be living there. Now this 10-30 split means that if an alien race that we, like one we've discovered enters a new star system, because, AI, there's a 10% chance. If it's us that goes to the star system, it's a 30% chance. We're going to leave all of these. Difficulty modifier, 100% is normal. 90% is a good start for new stuff, so 90% is good. If you're just starting out, I'm going to put it on 100. Construction cycle, leave this. This is just, there you go, the time in seconds between production cycles, so when things are produced. Because it essentially all works. It's not real time as such, it works on a timer. So things don't happen every second. Some things will happen every 3 days. Some things will happen every 5 seconds. So it just keeps the game running at a nice speed level. Our empire name is going to be called the Multimedia Empire. And I'm going to shorten that to Empire. Species name Human. Homeworld name Earth. Government types will give you various stats and bonuses and changes to how you play. For your first couple of games, or possibly forever, keep it on player race. Very simple, nothing that you won't understand. Empire theme is how positions in the military and other sort of titles for things will be named. So if I put it in the UK, the sort of military scheme will follow UK roles, like, various roles like colonel and things like that. We're going to put it to, if I can find it, orcs, because orcs are cool. Commander theme, I'm going to put it on Norse. Commander theme is the name of your commanders, so Norse, they will be named after Norse, and that's actually going to be really hard to remember. So, what's easy to remember? Because I want to be able to differentiate these. We're going to go for Warhammer. There's also a lot of Empire themes. Some of them are going to be real, like Ancient Egypt, Argentina, and then you have the sort of demonic realm, elemental, fantasy. Orcs are cooler. Now, in this section here is going to be trans-Newtonian or conventional empire. And essentially what this is a sort of 10-year into the future boost. If you pick conventional when you start out, you have just discovered these brand new elements. You've not got any of them yet. This is all new. Trans-Newtonian, they've been around for a while. You've done some research into them. You have some factories, and you've already started a space empire. Now, for new players, conventional just lets you get to grips with things a lot easier. So I'm going to suggest that. This is just tolerance of how your species can live on other planets. So, for example, here, humans can live within 24 degrees of their core temperature, for example. I'll just leave this as it is. Population, you can leave this. Higher population is going to give you more money, more factory boost and things like that. All of this is fine. Number of starting shipyards. This is the number of shipyards which build ships, and the number of research facilities. I'm actually going to boost the research facilities up to 10, just so we can research things a little bit quicker. 5 to 10 is fine. 5 is fine for what it is. No missile bases for conventional start. Basically, if you pick a conventional start because you haven't got any of these new elements, you will have missile bases on Earth, which are completely useless against all new types of ships and weaponry and all this new sort of stuff. So if you leave them on, you're going to have to deconstruct them or change them into other things. No missile bases just speeds it up a lot. Now, starting system solid jump points. This is going to be, how do I explain this? The game is split into star sections, so solar systems essentially. And Sol jump points refers to how many star jump points are in Sol. So one jump point will lead to another solar system. So 3 means there'll be 3 on Earth. Now, it's recommended you go for 6 because out of these jump points, some may lead into star systems that do not have any extra jump points. So if you had 3, all 3 of those could lead into a star system that have no other points connected to them. So you could have a total of 4 star systems in your game. If you have 6, the percentage of that happening is really low. So estimated to just do about that better. Now, system body survey completed, jump point survey completed. These will just skip the game ahead a lot. System body survey is essentially you start with a map of every planet and asteroid in the star system and what minerals they contain. Jump point survey, as you see, we have these 6 jump points here. There will be about 20 or 30 points in the solar system, and 6 of them will contain the actual jump points. If we click this here, we will know which have the jump points and which have nothing there. So again, that's just going to speed things up of having to go to each jump point and checking if they're there. But we're going to leave all this off. Starting tech points, 0 for conventional. If we go to Transnewtonian, it will give us some, but we can keep that at 0. Generate solar system will just create the actual solar system we live in reality. Space Master Empire is essentially Space Master is the game, make a tool so you can create your own. But solar system is absolutely fine, there's lots there. Now, non-NPR computer opponents. So these are not alien races, but special types of alien races. So the precursors, ancient robot-controlled ships usually found guarding alien ruins, dangerous. Extragalactic invaders, destroyed the original precursor civilization, these guys, during the last incursion, extremely dangerous. Star Swarm, an alien species of living ships that reproduce in space, individually weak, but troublesome in numbers. So, standard is precursors are on, Star Swarm is on, extragalactic invaders is off. I'm going to keep that the same. Now, non-player races. Create 1 or more computer-controlled opponents. NPRs will start in systems generated by Aurora and are hidden from the Space Master. So what this means is, when we start the game, it will generate an alien species in the AI and they will play along with you, even though you can't see them. And this is a number of them that will be created. And it seems kind of weird to set this to 0, so there are, when we start the game, we are the only race in the game, which seems weird, but makes sense when we think about this. Every time we go to a new system, there is a chance that an alien race will be living there. And the way Aurora does this is when we go to a new system, it generates one if there's one there. And it generates it to a particular sort of tech level based on where you are. So it could be, you know, a brand new race that's just got space travel, or it could be in the future. But what this means is that essentially the risk of it is having one at the start is that that alien race may get involved in combat. And if it's in combat, it's going to slow down the pace at which you play your game, because things have to happen in like smaller frequencies. So keeping this at 0 lets you play basically the fastest possible that you can play without being slowed down by, you know, big wars between people you can't even see. Because if you can't see them, it's not really relevant. So we're going to keep this at 0, and as we explore the galaxy, we will get new alien races. Now, NPRs activate non-NPR computer opponents. So this means, can the races that are generated activate these? We want to set that to no because, you know, it's just more so that the player can experience more of this rather than it happening somewhere completely different. And we can generate only non-TN races. I don't know what this does actually. Let's not worry about it. We're just going to leave this all as it is. No overhauls. Ships will not suffer maintenance failures and will not require overhauls. Essentially, any combat ship in the game needs spare parts and engineers and needs to be serviced. Tick that, doesn't need to be serviced anymore. But we're going to keep this on because it's quite an... It can get a little tedious, but it does make gameplay more interesting. And jump gates on all jump points. Remember how I said that you find jump points in the space system over here? When you find them, you can go through them. Actually, no, you can't. When you find them, you will have to build a jump gate. Imagine sort of the mass drives in Mass Effect before your ships can go through them. So you have two choices. You can build a jump gate so everything can go through it, or you can build a ship with a jump drive that allows it and a small fleet of ships to go through. But again, that jump drive is only valid for that ship and its people around it. So what this will do is that every jump point you find already has a maximum level jump gate, so everything can just go through it. So essentially what this does is just whenever you find a jump gate, you'll have to spend some time building a jump gate on it, rather than it being there at the beginning. But that's fine. Realistic commander promotions and commander political bonuses, leave this on. Just adds extra stats to commanders and things. A penalty to fleets that have not been trained, that's fine. Real world star systems. So when we go and find a new star system, it is one that is documented in the real world, basically, with like the right asteroids, the right planets and things. Just makes it interesting. Orbital motion. So, as in real life, things orbit around each other. It is a little bit of a strain on resources. So if you have a very low NPC, I'd recommend turning all this off. But it just means that, you know, for example, an asteroid, if we want to go mine an asteroid, we can go get it as it's coming towards Earth, put a mine on it, fly off back to Earth, but then, you know, a couple of years later, it may be at the far edge of the galaxy, of the solar system, so we'd have to travel a lot further out. It just adds a little bit of dynamicness to the world, makes it feel a little bit more alive because things are rotating. And I think we're going to leave it off for asteroids, but leave it on for planets and moons, just so it doesn't slow it down too much. And same system truce. If we so for example, if we'll say we have two species, species A, species B. Species B has two cities, two big planets. Species A has one in Sector 1. Species 2 has two, one in Sector 1, one in Sector 2. If their capital is in Sector 2, and they get blown up, then their capital moves to Sector 1. What this means is that for 10 years, after they've been reduced to their main capital, they can't be taken advantage of by the other race that lives there. So it means that it gives you a little bit more chance to survive for alien races if they get destroyed. 10 years is not that long, it's fine. And that is essentially everything just in setting up a game. This has been going on for 14 minutes according to my timer. So we've covered pretty much everything. Create game. And this is going to, well, what it does first is create all the races that are started at the start. We've selected 0 races to get created at the start, so it's already done that. Now when I click OK, it's going to probably hold for a few minutes while it generates everything. So I'm going to stop this video here, and I will see you in the next episode where we actually get to play the game. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.